Orbert Davis, O-R-B-E-R-T. Not Orbit, but you know. You know, my father's name was Herbert, and I think my parents, that was their creative side, was with my name. Do something different, play trumpet. I'm in Chicago. My business partner and I started an education program for at-risk youth about 12 years ago. And so that has expanded to 2 programs in about 25, 30 schools. And it's basically not only putting music back, but in the public schools and private schools, but it's about connecting music and jazz to academic skills and life skills. And I'm also, because I have to announce that I'm on faculty at the University of Illinois in Chicago as well. Well, there's various reasons. First of all, jazz is rich. I mean, there are so many connections with, let's say, in the academic side. I mean, how can we think about American history without jazz being the soundtrack? You know, but then on a deeper level, jazz and music in general connects. Well, just say jazz. Jazz connects with reading. I mean, think in terms of understanding the elements of music and how melody works, how harmony works, how rhythm works. You know, rhythm is the verb. It's the moving word. So there's so many ways that educators can connect music. And then when students discover music, they really discover themselves. They have ownership. They learn to, well, improvisation is a big one. Because life is not, our life in America is not about wake up in the morning, read the manual, and start our day. We're going, and we're walking, we're moving, and we're making the changes, but we're adapting, and we're thinking about our past experiences and about our mentors while we're paving our own way. It's all jazz. So jazz is the motto. And then, I mean, think of jazz and democracy. You know, you get 5, like I just played in a band, in a quintet. I've never met anyone but one person. And 10 minutes later, we're performing at a very high level. And there's so much communication going on. And so I actually feel now that I know the drummer just by what he said through his instrument. You know, so those are things that must be taught. And then there's also jazz as the experience, as we're finding in the conference, is that students are experiencing teamwork, collaboration, and community. Community is a big thing, because at these conferences, at the Gen Conference, you walk in the hallway and there are jazz greats, there are beginning students, there are educators, all here for the common cause. I am very fortunate. I am the co-founder, artistic director, composer and conductor of a 56-piece professional jazz orchestra, and it's a symphonic jazz orchestra. So when you look at it, it's like, wait a minute, this is a classical symphony, but it's a jazz symphony, and we're able to break all the boundaries that separate classical and jazz, and it's a symphony orchestra with a jazz aesthetic, and we have one CD out that we produced a couple years ago called Collective Creativity. So that is my passion and dream. But of course, I still play with my small group, my quintet. We have a smaller chamber ensemble that's part of the larger Chicago Jazz Philharmonic Orchestra. And between that and just trying to keep the chops up every day and do all the composing. Yeah, my whole career has been never say no. So, and every step along my career has been learning experience. So I got very heavily involved in composing when I was a studio musician. I would play literally thousands of jingles and commercials and some movie projects, documentaries. But I was always involved in the aesthetic of writing and composing. So when the call came to perform and put this orchestra together, it was a no-brainer. You know, my business partner Mark and I just said, let's do this. So we developed the nonprofit, and we raised money for the concerts, and we have an incredible organization that does a lot of hard work to make sure that we work. Well, if you look at the past, you see the future, and the fact that in 3 short years that we've come to a level that exceeds everybody's expectations. What's great about Jen and the board of directors is that we're able to think outside of the box. You know, there's time where we're saying, well, this is the conference, there's so much work to do, on that, but then there's also, what are we doing to leave a legacy? So I think that Jen has the potential to be a connecting force that will actually heal communities and society. When you think of the connection with, being in a city and finding out that there's a school over here that really needs to be connected. As this network, we connect people with people, with organizations. And the great thing about the fact of education, sometimes all it takes is one concert where a child can attend, and then they discover music, they discover themselves, and their whole future is changed because of that experience. So Jen's going to do some powerful work in that.